Okay, I think we have it now. I had to size my screen there a little bit. But yeah, welcome back to the second stream for today. We're gonna be starting Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. Not for our first playthrough, I've played this game quite a few times before since it came out in 2017. It was actually my favorite game that I played in 2018 when I actually played it for the first time. And yeah, love this one. It's an action-adventure game developed by Ninja Theory. They were known for having made the DMC Devil May Cry remake game. And yeah, they kind of dived into new territories here, at least narratively. Because in this game we play as a picked warrior that suffers from a deep psychosis. And yeah, that is actually represented in the game through various gameplay mechanics, puzzles, the way the environment looks to us, and yeah, it kind of like enables us to look into or through the eyes of someone suffering from psychosis. But this also comes with a kind of like trigger warning, I guess, at the same time, because people that might, you know, have similar conditions, you know, might actually feel like it's too close to it. So if you feel like you need a break from like watching, that's totally fair. Just want to say that firsthand, to be warned. But yeah, kind of like mixes Celtic culture with like a dark Norse fantasy world. So it's not like really focused on like, you know, the actual like historical authenticity or something. But it's still very much a game I want to play because I think it represents certain aspects of the time quite well. And the game becomes quite real through like, you know, seeing it through Senua's eyes, I guess. Because to her that is a reality and to many people it is as well. And what's really cool I think is with this game they actually work together with people having psychosis, and they kind of like asked for input and context, and they also had mental health advisors to also assist and, you know, kind of like represent it well. And there's even a feature in the options menu that I want to watch once you finish with the game, and that's gonna give us a bit of a yeah, backstory on how they actually created this game. Also, hey there, Dr. Darling, welcome in, and welcome back, I should say. Hey there, Hit Pigs, welcome in, dude. How is it going? Not Odyssey, 2017, never mind. It came out in 2017, but I played it not until 2018, I don't think. So when I played it in 2018, for me it was like game of the year. So the year that Odyssey came out. I mean, you know, I liked Odyssey when I started it in 2018, pretty late into the year, I guess, like when it launched. But the more time I played with Odyssey, the more some of the issues became apparent. But I was at first really invested actually. I wanted to see where the story was heading because it definitely had lots of potential. But yeah, a lot of the potential that I was looking forward to didn't really fulfill, to say the least. But still, solid game. I had fun with it. But yeah, Hellblade WoW, you know, it really feels like a piece of art. And it's very unique. Something I also like in games, you know, when we don't try to be like other games necessarily, but they try to be their own, you know, idea. And yeah, narratively as well, it's quite intriguing. It's going good, just completed Astrobot, just waiting for tomorrow for Funko Fusion. How about you? Oh yeah, dude. I watched Maxi play through Astrobot and finished it recently, getting the Platinum. That game looks so fun. They've done a great job, also with all the cameos and, you know, just like the ideas they had for the different levels. I also love the way they've done the credits for the game, making it like part of the gameplay. But yeah, I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. Had a nice day. We played a bit of Horrible Histories earlier today and finished that game, and with it we also finished the Ancient Times. And we're now diving to the first medieval historical game. Well, slash historical slash dark fantasy. And yeah, looking forward to it. It's been quite a bit since I actually played the first Hellblade. But I watched a little bit of it recently when Levi played for this. About the time that Hellblade 2 came out. But it's gonna be good playing those games back to back. And yeah, this time we're doing it on the hardest difficulty. And I will also try to collect all the Lore Stones if I can. They can be a bit tricky to find because you can't always backtrack, but I see that they have now added the option to replay certain chapters. So if I miss some, then I might go back and actually replay a chapter to still catch them. But yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Also, hey Varrod, welcome in, dude. How is it going? GG's again on finishing Chronicles, dude. That was quite a playthrough. But yeah, it must be a good feeling to get that done. But yeah, I gotta love glitches that just make everything more confusing than it already is. The Hellblade has two parts, the Hell and the Blade. Absolutely. What did Levi think of Hellblade? She really loved it. Yeah, both games. She had a great time with it. I think overall she enjoyed the first game a little bit better than the second. I think the combat she liked better in the first game, and also the puzzles. But she loved like the cinematicness of the second game, and yeah, I think she struggled a little bit with the fights and fighting in general in Hellblade 2. Because so many animations feel like they're part of the cutscenes, right? So it's like a bit confusing sometimes when you actually have to do input and when the game is just doing its thing. But yeah, she really liked both games. Can't wait to play this yet again. Cheers for the GGs. It sure was. Very happy to get it done finally. I bet. Had to think a little bit of Assassin's Creed Rogue when you said that it's like one of those games you just play if it's part of a series, but you wouldn't really play it by itself. I was like, yeah, that is kind of like how I do it with Assassin's Creed Rogue, isn't it? I would probably never play it just by itself. I'd never be like, you know what I really fancy right now? Just playing like AC Rogue. Just for the fun of it. Rod is still recovering from Tomb Raider Chronicles. I would be as well, yeah. I probably need a couple days break or something. From Tomb Raider. But luckily for you, Rod, I guess that's gonna be the case, right? Because not going back to Tomb Raider until Monday, I think. It's great you enjoy them. You found the 2 with a sequel. Sometimes you would be caught off guard. Yeah, same here. Definitely was a bit tricky, like also with the dodging, you know. It'd be quite precise and really time it well. But yeah, I do look forward to seeing how the hard difficulty would be like on this game. Like how much we're getting punished. Because usually the difficulty would be on auto, which it currently is. Which means it kind of like goes and adjusts it according to how often you die, I guess. If you die more often, it's being set to easy, and if you die not so much, it gets set to hard. Let's activate the photo mode, because why not? I'm gonna leave the subtitles to white. I wanna go with performance mode. Have a 60 FPS here. Camera's fine. Vibration? I don't think I need vibration. Yeah, we have focus right trigger, interact A, run left bumper, strike X, heavy strike Y, melee tech B, evade A, block right bumper. And most important button, photo mode, D-pad down. Did we actually play this? Yeah. Oh, so we can actually turn subtitles off. I think I would actually like to do that, because often with Hellblade I find the subtitles more distracting than anything else. Because it's like voices coming from left, right, front, back, and Senua's voice itself, you know. And I tend to look at subtitles often when they actually appear. And I think it would be actually more immersive if I don't have any subtitles. I know that for some it might be an accessibility option, you know, that they want to have, but in this case I think I'm gonna leave it off for both games. It's one of those games you can enjoy the majority of it, but those last 3 levels are so rage-inducing. Yeah, it's just it's just like building up as well, right? Like the closer you're getting to them, knowing what's to come. But yeah, the glitches definitely don't help whatsoever. The next one is Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. It's the last of the classic games, came out in 2003. Needed another year because it really tanked upon release, but the things it does well is done great, in spite of the issues. Those are the types of games I don't mind sometimes, you know. If I kind of like really excel in certain regards, I can take some shortcomings in other ways. If you can see kind of like they really dedicated, you know, lots of attention towards something to make it really good. Can be better sometimes than just having like a mediocre game, you know, where nothing is bad or good. So, I have actually all the sound bits disabled for this playthrough because it's a very like audio focus experience as well. And I feel like all of that would be just distracting. But yeah, for like other playthroughs, of course, we have those back enabled again. And we will watch the Hellblade feature, but not until we've actually finished the game. But yeah, I would say for now we are ready to dive into the adventures of Senua's Sacrifice.
Hello. Who are you? Doesn't matter. safe with me. I'll be right here, nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others. Let me tell you about Senua. Her story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
What's happening? It's breathing. Dead. It's breathing. It's breathing. He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching.
This is a journey deep into darkness.
They're watching.
There will be no more stories after this one.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? They're watching. Why doesn't she turn coming? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already dead. I feel you coming.
Quiet. Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, but they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there. Why isn't she looking? Why aren't you looking?
He's in Helheim. Look, up ahead.
Helheim.
You see it too?
You promised you gave you.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call Hell.
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Go back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe.
It's them. They're here.
Can you see them? I can see
Look around and you will see them. The drowned, the sick, the slain. Here they lie, rotting in the fields and rivers of hell. But the dead don't always lie still here.
You see them?
This is not a place of rest.
You can't do this. Go back. Go back. They're going to do that to you. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you. They're watching. Stop. Can you feel them watching? They're watching her. They're watching her. You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel it?
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it, turn away. But it's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
They can feel you.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own, but it isn't bravery that drives her. Bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper. What is she looking at? What is she leaving behind? I know what she's thinking. I hear her thoughts. It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us. There's no going back.
You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you too have a part to play in this story.
I do like how in a way, you know, we're one of the voices in her head. I mean, we are the player controlling her on some level. When the other voice is like saying, why don't you join us? You know. But yeah, such a atmospheric beginning. I do like how they do the credits at the start, you know. Kind of like saying, okay, these are the people who crafted this game. Also starting with mental health advisor and historical research. You know, saying those are two of the most important things about this game that we wanna mention directly. But Hellblade, yeah. Oh yeah, indeed. The music is so good. It's just one of those soundtracks I can come back to any time, you know, and just listen to it, even independently from the game. Very dark, very atmospheric, and also like the electronical elements they built into it, especially once you have like the more intense versions. Melina Jürgens, you're so glad you returned to play Senua in the sequel? Me too, dude. Especially given how many years there were between this game and the second Hellblade. But she still came back to, you know, work on the same role. But yeah, she really gave it to everything. In both games, you can tell. Especially considering that she didn't really, you know, have any acting experience prior to this game. And her becoming the actress for Senua being like more of a coincidence. That's a great point. It really helps immerse into the world outside the character and the world inside the character set. That is true. Very much so. Right, so there's our first lore stones that kind of tell us tales about the Norse mythologies. But they also have, of course, ties into some of the events that happen in the game. They're kind of like a throwback to, yeah, one of the storytellers in the game.
Look closer. Look. Use your eyes. Why isn't she looking closer? She needs to look closer. Focus.
Do not forget my stories, Senua. Because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight to Hela's gate, but gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the river of knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
If I ever do a live action series, I would be foolish not to cast her. That is true. I wish, you know, lots of movies would do that. Especially if, you know, a lot of the voice actors have also done, you know, performance, you know, captures. Not just, you know, doing the voices, but also, you know, all the body movements and stuff. And animations. One thing I love about Red Dead 2 is how they, you know, had like all the different major characters actually also do the body movement themselves. Okay, so the next lost one is supposed to be at the bridge, at the beach, or just past the bridge on the beach.
The darkness is coming. Yearns for life. Hungers for it. Like a pack of wolves in a hunt. But she's not stopping. Not this time.
Can you see it?
The land of mist and fog.
He's in there.
The old fool was right.
You see it?
What was it he said? The river of knives across which lies the halls of hell. The place they call Helheim.
He's lost. He's lost. Where are you? I hear you. He's there, you know it.
There's no doubt about
He's
it.
lost.
The source of the darkness is in Helheim.
They're called
And the goddess Hela holds his soul there. Her dear beloved, Dillian.
Lillian, the person Hellblade Senua does all of this for,
She's doing
and whose head she's actually carrying with him.
He's already dead. He's dead. But his soul is in Helheim. His soul still lives.
Her best friend, but also lover,
She needs to save his soul. She wants his soul
that
to
got killed in a brutal manner.
needs to lay him to rest.
And yeah, she's on a quest
She can save him.
to, I guess in a way, avenge him, but also to bring him peace.
She can't let him walk.
And maybe also herself.
Do you know
The
where
bridge
you
to
are?
Helheim. I forget its name. She forgets too. But she does remember that only the dead may cross it. That part wasn't so easy to forget. The old fool said there was a hidden path up to it. Let's see, shall we?
I have to say, this game holds up so well graphically. From 2017. There, the Unreal Engine has been doing wonders in that regard. And there's the other stone circle, the second one.
The Northmen speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard. Sky gods dwell in Asgard. The gods of earth, harvest, wind, and sea dwell in Vanaheim. The good elves dwell in Alfheim. The evil ones dwell in Svartalfheim. The mountain giants dwell in Jotunheim. The fire giants dwell in Muspelheim. Niflheim is the world of ice and darkness. Only the dead dwell in Helheim. And that is where you must travel.
Such a great combination of visuals and sounds in this game too. Absolutely. Like, I gotta say, Ninja Theory has definitely a great way of combining both of them. The first game I played of Ninja Theory was the DMC Devil May Cry remake. But actually doesn't hold that high of a standing in the Devil May Cry community, I think. It was the only game I think they've actually worked on in the DMC franchise, but I personally loved it. But also hadn't never played any DMC games before. But they actually worked together with Noisia, which was, because they're not active anymore, I don't think, unfortunately. A drum and bass and dubstep kind of like collective. Providing like a very, like underground electronic vibe into it. And then they had Combi Cries, that is kind of like more of a hardcore metal band, I guess. Or trash metal, I'm not quite sure how to put in a certain genre, but it was a really interesting mix as well in that game. And also both had a very like dark atmosphere to it. But there was quite a bit that actually took from that game and brought it over to this game. You can certainly see like some of the inspiration. But yeah, that's another game I'd actually love to replay because it's been quite a few years now since I last streamed it. I think I might have only streamed it once. But truth, you forgot the 10th called Helheim, where Helmdallermann resides. That is correct. Maybe you should visit a bookstore in this Coliseum to actually learn about that one. Was sound really cool. I've only played the first DMC game, but wasn't too big on it. That's definitely fair too. Yeah, from what I can tell, it was definitely a very different DMC game. Hence why so many people didn't like it from a DMC fan community. Maybe that's why I liked it so much. But yeah, it was certainly at times it was a bit edgy, and definitely appealed more to like a teenager audience, I would say, in terms of like narrative. But yeah, I still enjoyed it overall. It's not really something I would say, has like one of the best stories ever, but the gameplay was really fun, and I thought the whole like art direction was really cool.
Are you scared? You should be scared. Quickly, come, quickly. You've got to come. Just drop down. Why did she go down? What's down? Why did she do that? She shouldn't have done it. She can't go back now.
No, this is it. The hidden path.
My first puzzle.
It's going to hurt you. It's dangerous.
Don't kill me. I'm not one of them.
Don't listen.
I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. Don't listen. I'll never let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait. Who are you?
It's just a memory.
Ruth? Is that you?
How do you know?
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar.
He's lost.
An old fool. Truth is my truth.
It's good to see you again. You kept your vow.
Guide you in this life and the next. I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Tell me your stories again, old friend. I'm listening.
The runes seal the gates to hell. Focus your inner eye, and you too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
Look really clearly.
Focus, Senua.
Focus. Focus and you'll see. What happens if you focus?
Okay, I set my screen timeout on my handy to 30 minutes. So I can keep the guide on for longer. Because I would like to collect all the lost stones if I can. So I'm kind of like looking up where they might be hidden. But it's funny because there were quite a few games Capcom began developing as Resident Evil 4, but ended up becoming their own IP instead, and DMC was one of those. That is actually interesting, and I didn't know that. But it does make kind of sense when you think about it, for sure. Like with some of the presentation in DMC, it definitely does give me Resident Evil vibes sometimes. But also with the gore of like some enemies, you know, I can see some overlappings there for sure. It's cool with the live action footage we see in this is the actual graphics in the sequel. In cutscenes and gameplay. It is quite mind-boggling, you know, like how realistic the second game looks. Can be quite difficult to actually distinguish between reality and what is the game. Sometimes. But yeah, the new Unreal Engine, you know, has done wonders to some of the visual effects. Also when it comes to like wind and water and just like, you know, raindrops and all those kind of stuff. But also, you know, the face animation quality. The graphics definitely have come a long way in just 7 years.
I can see one.
Hold it in your mind's eye. Find one like it to open the gate. It's near. Look towards the gate, and the gate will open.
There we go. So a symbol will actually flash up on the screen once you come close to it.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it.
It worked.
I'm gonna take you. It's not safe.
I spent 6 years enslaved in hell, but I watched the Northmen, learnt their ways.
I know you did.
You listen when everyone else laughed. My people paid a heavy price. Carry my stories with you, and together we will make the Northmen feel our fury.
Yes.
Another voice joins us. She once tried to make them go away. Pretend they weren't real. But what good is that? When we are always here.
Kind of what would be Lore stone here. Is it over there actually? I think it's past this bridge here.
I guess it's the same with heights. You can stand on the edge, pretend it's going to be okay. But you know that death is near, waiting for you to make that little slip. You can't just wish things away.
There it is. Juve is such a good character. You really like his dialogues in the story, but also the lore stones as well. Absolutely. And I like how, you know, he and Senua also became friends. I guess maybe Senua could also relate to him in a way, you know, being like a bit of an outsider or feeling like one. But I always like listening to his stories.
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of Loki. The gods feared her bloodline, bad on her mother's side and yet much worse on her father's. So, as a child, the All-Father cast her down into Helheim and gave her power over those who die of sickness, age, hardship, and self-slaughter. In all of the 9 worlds, only Hela can resurrect the dead. To Hela, your Dillion was sacrificed, and with her you must bargain.
Stay back. Look at it. You have to open it.
The gate to Helheim divides the living from the dead. Is that the face of Hela herself? The half-rotten goddess that rules over Helheim. Whatever horrors lie behind that door, she must find him. Shh. Someone's here. I'll give you what you want. I won't resist anymore. Just give him back.
You're killing. You're going to die. Get dying.
vision of what's to come. Poor Senua. The darkness does not bargain. It does not reason. It is rot. And now it has taken hold. It will spread towards her head, the seat of the soul, until there is nothing left of her. All of her suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
The dark rod will grow each time you fell. If the rod reaches Senua's head, her quest is over. And all progress will be lost.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. That is what Dillian taught her. With every defeat, the dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul. But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow, whatever the cost.
He's not there.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire, Surt, and the god of illusion, Valravyn. Spill their blood to open the gate to Helheim and enter the land of the dead.
To Dillian.
To his soul. It won't open.
How will she get through?
Why won't it open?
Why can't she open it? She needs to challenge the gods.
She has to fight two gods first.
Two gods?
Two gates.
Which will she choose first?
One of them will kill her, I know it.
She's going to die. Uh-oh.
Which one will she challenge first?
Be very careful, Senua.
Choose a gate, Senua.
Two gates, two gods.
She's too scared.
Which one?
But yeah, so this whole death scenario is kind of like scripted to introduce the whole like rot, mechanic. You actually see the arm, become more and more rotten, and the rot more and more reaching to her head the more often you die. There's also like the visual component of what it means to die a lot in this game. Hey there, Stanley, welcome in. People in Norse mythology can literally go anywhere they want. Also people in Norse mythology. Hell it is. Just like a nice weekend trip to Helheim. It's nice and hot there. Now this is cool as fuck. That's the game. Cool as fuck. There's a pretty cool mechanic to present to the player. Rot 2 gods, easy. Easy indeed. That's like nothing for Senua. Especially not on the hardest difficulty. So this should be the last lore stone of chapter 1 here. Also, hey Vashella, welcome in. Ahoy. It's going good, thank you. We're jumping into our first medieval game with Hellblade 1 and 2. How's it going for you? How's the evening?
The Northmen say that in the beginning there was nothing but darkness. Bitter cold to the north, fiery hot to the south. They say the cold formed ice, which melted from the sparks from the south. The power of the darkness gave life to the dripping ice, and the first giant was born, and was named Ymir. The ice continued to drip, and the power of the void gave life to it, and it became a cow, whose milk fed the giant. That's right, a cow. Bet you weren't expecting that.
I wasn't. Juve is always ready for some surprising stories. Just a flick and they will be done. One hit, easy for sure. Especially Suta, the fire god. But I'm actually gonna start with the illusion one, because on the Lost Stone there will be chapter 2. Like if we go to the fire side first, then we will actually skip one chapter and then unlock, Lost Stones there. But I wanna have it actually in order. So we will go through the left door first. The Land of Illusion.
Valravyn, ancestor of the seers and master of ravens. He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains. Follow the path to Valravyn and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
He's also probably my favorite looking enemy boss in this game. Valravyn. It's a really cool moveset as well, it's like almost flying. With very fast blades. Okay, so the path is splitting into two. I have to take a right here, I think. Should be a Lost Zone. Up this way here. Yeah, up there.
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice, Buri. In shape, he was like a man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the foremost of the gods, the All-Father.
But there's 3 Lost Stones that in terms of their positioning are in order, but the dialogue of Juve is out of order? Huh. That's odd. Yeah, you would assume that if you actually do it in order of the positioning here, that it would be also the narrative order of the stories that Juve tells. Makes you wonder if it was just like an oversight or something. Gonna be a bit of a while now until we reach the next Lost Stone. Next one we will be able to see at some point, but it won't be accessible until later.
Illusion hides the path to Valravyn. Don't trust your eyes. Find another way to see the truth.
What's that? It's a door. No, it's not. Push this. Push it, push it. She did it. She did it.
I remember the location where they are, but can't remember which goes in the correct true story order, unfortunately. That's definitely understandable. Would be tricky to actually remember that to the dot. But yeah, I guess it's something we have to live with. And there we go. Pretty cool mechanic here with the illusion thing. As you can see, it's all a matter of perspective in this game. It's actually a mechanic they took over in Valhalla as well. In Jotunheim, when you have all of the, you know, illusion puzzles.
Something's different. Change. Different. Can you see?
It's funny. We all want to see behind the veil, don't we? But once we do, we mostly just close our eyes again and pretend what we saw was never really there.
Man, I can't put into words how much I love this game. Every time I play it. It just is very unique to me. And to me it also stands out a bit more than the second game. In terms of like how much it resonates with me. But don't get me wrong, I still love the second game too. But the first game is truly something special to me.
However hard she tried, begged.
I think a big part of it might also be the introspectiveness of it. You know, the second game of course focused a bit more on Senua interacting with other people, which I think made a lot of sense, you know. Was a good eventual way. I think given how much actually plays in Senua's head, you know, added a lot to the atmosphere of this game. Also, these massive doors kind of remind me of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Now that I play Bloodborne, I'm almost half expecting a boss every time I go through these doors.
Once we gaze into the relentless darkness,
It's a Monka feeling.
lurks within it.
It's a feeling that John Marston has when he opens the doors at the end of Red Dead 1. Monka. Well, that's how I feel about Alan Wake 1 versus 2. You like Alan Wake 2, but for you 1 has a very special place. Totally fair, yeah. And with those games, you know, it's even like a bigger difference as well in years. Which is often subject to even more change, I guess. I'm quite looking forward to play Alan Wake 2 eventually, because it does look really good. But can't say much about the story. I haven't really paid much attention to it, so I stay spoiler free as much as possible. But yeah, Sun is also like, you know, like when you play game 2.
It's too sad.
Love the combat music as well.
He's down. You won it. There are too many of them to find a strong position.
mode also feels so good in this game, I think. It's really cool being able to do all these combos, you know, between light, heavy attacks, kind of stun attack, and also running and stuff. It all feels very responsive and smooth. But you can also tell was less focus on like smooth animations necessarily, even though they look very smooth. Whereas in the second game, we of course tried to make everything look very cinematic and real. But that also meant that the responsiveness was maybe a bit more realistic, but also sluggish, you know? But again, I think both approaches are very valid, especially considering what either of them were going for. The first one definitely also feels more gamey as well, I would say. Can't actually climb here, I don't think. Yeah.
Valravyn's power of illusion comes from ravens. Align the ravens to break his magic seal.
Show me what you have seen, Truth.
Look how much it's changed. It's all different.
Ah ja, there's another gate here.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravyn.
Valravyn has a piece of Eden. Yeah, like an apple of Eden, creating illusions left and right. It's one of the reasons I actually liked that they included these illusions also in Jotunheim, in Valhalla. Because, yeah, it just makes a lot of sense, you know, for the Roman pantheon. Given that we know that they used the apple of Eden especially quite a lot to control their subjects.
Something's shifted. Something's happened. Something's shifted. Can you feel it?
Do you feel it too? It's like crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different. An imposter world where the forest itself is watching.
Okay, this place is a bit convoluted. There's definitely lots of things we have to do here. This one doesn't create anything yet. Let's just go straight to the door. I think I might have to activate it first.
Another gate.
Another gate. You know what to do. Stay back. You have to open it. It's not safe. Don't listen to them. Listen.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravyn.
Which ravens? Where are they? Can't you see them? Line up the ravens. Shh.
I hear something.
If you hear the soul of Valravyn, follow it, and it will lead you to him. But be aware of his illusions. You can't.
Challenge me.
I love the way Valravyn is voiced. With a deep voice. It's a very special like singing technique as well. You can also hear the Mongols, I think, in Ghost of Tsushima use a similar one. When we're doing like the chanting. Oh, that's a great point. Creating illusions to manipulate the minds of others. Exactly. An illusion that's so strong you think it's like reality. Also makes you think of speaking to a fan. Amazing. That's exactly what it sounds like, actually. Somebody who just had a couple whiskeys, a couple packs of cigarettes, and then spoken to a fan. Just gonna have a quick look when the next Lost Zone is supposed to appear. Alright, let's carry on.
He's gone. He doesn't leave. Where did he go? Where is he? It's not your fault.
Is she lost? Wouldn't be the first time. Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off of berries, roots, and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a gallant. Some, like Truth, become gallant in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to purge a curse. Those who make it back are forever changed.
Let's open up these doors here for easy access.
She can get up now.
Okay, so that opens up the side there.
A trick. Valravyn tricking her. Valravyn. How can she get up? Bait. It's him. Dark magic draws her closer. It's not him. He's helping her. It's not him. It's a trick. She's doing it on her own. He's not tricking her. It's magic. It's an illusion.
Ah ja. There's another Lost Zone here. Let's see if I can't access it now. Okay, we actually have to backtrack to the last portal we used here. Hold on. Yeah. Now we can use the beam to get across here. To the N-ward area. And that's lost on number 6.
The Northmen say that Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, and that the world of men was formed from his corpse. They made his bones into stone, and his flesh into earth, and his blood into the salt sea. They set his skull to be the bowl of the sky, with his brains for clouds. Odin and his brothers caught the sparks flying from Muspel and made them into stars. And to protect the new world from the giants, they used Ymir's great curving eyebrows as walls.
We picture fear, and we think of a shadow in the woods, a creature in the night. If only it were that simple. The worst kind comes without warning. A deep and primal signal from within. A reminder that just because you cannot see the threat, it doesn't mean that it's not already here.
She can't get in. She can't go in there. Shh. Valravyn, he's there. She can't go in. Has to find another route.
Truth says there's always another route.
Find a way. Go round.
Find your own path.
There's a different way.
Don't let them get behind you.
Don't let them surround you.
You won. Anticipate moves.
Behind you!
It's nearly up.
Okay, I think we were pretty close to dying there actually. Sustained a lot more hits than I thought we would. And there's the next doorstone here.
The Northmen say you must sacrifice in order to receive. They tell how the runes were revealed to Odin only in sacrifice. He hung himself from the world tree, and he stabbed himself with a spear, and he dedicated the sacrifice to himself. For 9 nights he hung on the tree without food or drink, and at last he saw the runes below him. He gave a cry, and gathered them in his mind and learnt them. Then he fell from the tree.
When he fell from a tree, he also said, "It is done." One of the most favorite things we used to like to say in Assassin's Creed. It is done. The message is delivered. From the life tree we came, to the life tree we go. It is done.
Do you know what it's like to leave everything behind? Your home, loved ones, to head deep into the wilds, perhaps never to return. Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything. Turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
Yeah, that hits hard. For Senua, you know, like, she got exiled, yes, but she never really felt at home either. But yeah, we will see more about her past and why she was like an outcast, essentially.
The Northmen say that Odin is always in search of knowledge and wisdom and magic. There was a very wise being named Mimir, who guarded the waters of wisdom which flow from the roots of the world tree. Odin wished to drink from this spring, but he had to pay a price. So he gouged out his own eye as offering to Mimir. He drank from the well and traded one way of seeing for another.
Okay, we got one more lore stone as part of this chapter here. Heavy spots we always try, and who the hell would go on such a website? Yeah, I certainly wouldn't. But you never know, you know. Like, some people actually do pay for viewers.
The song. Valravyn. Valravyn's song. It's over here. It's over here. Is that? It's over there. No, it's here. There's two. Listen, focus, listen. It's magic. It's magic. It's an illusion. This reminds the forest. Which forest? The wilds. She went to the wilds a long time. Why did she go to the wilds? She wanted to fight her own darkness. She thought she could beat her own. Did she beat her darkness? No. It nearly killed her, but she tried. Druth helped her. If it wasn't for Druth, she'd be dead. She can't beat her own darkness. She wanted to marry Dillian. She came to beat her own darkness and marry Dillian. But it didn't work. She thought her curse would affect him. She thought her curse would spread to him. She thought she'd bring the darkness to him too. She nearly died. She thought the curse made her tainted. Druth helped her. Open it. She has to. Not from this side.
Oh, okay. Just fell down, I guess. Never mind. Let's go for here. Ah ja, there's the last lost one. Let's go.
The Northmen say that Odin has two ravens. Their names are Thought and Memory, and each day he sends them out to fly all across the world. Upon their return, they perch on his shoulders and tell him everything they have seen and heard. In this way, he learns of things far and wide, and for this reason, he is called the Raven God.
I love a shot here with the zoom in on all of these symbols and how they're like multiplied. Is there actually like a way to also do a screenshot? I guess I have to do it manually. Okay, that works. Screenshot saved.
Senua, like Odin, you must seek wisdom through thought and memory if you are to succeed in your quest.
Let's have another look up here. But one of the songs that the old gods of Asgard created called Children of the Elder God. There's lyrics about Odin's two ravens. Odin's might be your guide. Divorce you from the same. Hammer sway wherever it say. Rise up in the name. Yeah, memory and thought. Jet black and clawed. That's really cool actually. They were also, you know, saying that kind of wording of memory and thought. I really like the inclusion of the old gods of Asgard also in Alan Wake's American Nightmare. And the way they kind of like sound completely different to how they sound in interviews. Yeah, gotta get down here. However, I can't just jump down here. I mean, there's like a staircase that I have to take, I guess. Yeah. But I think we're almost ready to fight Valravyn. Now that we have collected all of the lore stones. Should be getting closer to the boss fight here. So good, you like how we do that meta commentary in the interview? Absolutely. Yeah, that DLC had some really cool tie-ins. Yeah, we've been here. I wonder. Oh yeah, this is actually where we came from. Whoops. There will be blood. Of a blood god. Now who's the blood god in Norse mythology, wo? I kind of forgot. Yeah, the question is on which platform we have to go to align this, given how many there are here. I reckon back up here. Can I climb this? I can't. Yeah, we gotta find a way to get up here somehow. What? What we changed it? I think I switched it back to how it was. Okay, at least I know what to do now. That should do it. At least I thought so. There, that didn't do anything. Definitely can't climb this. Ah, hold on. Hold on. Now I got it. Okay, back again. But now the upper wall is connected, of course, and I can actually walk over there. Took my brain a couple minutes.
The ravens. They've gone.
They've gone.
No,
Half of them have gone. They've gone.
some are still there.
But where? Some are still there.
Valravyn's helping.
He's not helping.
It's a trick.
Quiet.
Out in the wilds, in the cold winter woods,
Where have they gone?
she no longer felt fit for this world. She almost gave in to the darkness. But she remembered Dillian's words. She remembered her promise. She resolved to fight on and kill that which had become a part of her.
But very easy to get turned around in this part. You've had it happen a couple of times. Yeah, I don't blame you. It can definitely get confusing, especially, or even, you know, if you've played this game a bit before. Kind of cool that if you go into focus mode, you can actually hear him much clearer, which also gives you a hint of where you have to go.
The ravens. They've all gone. No.
There's still three. There's three.
There's three. Where have they gone? Where have they gone?
She did it. What does it mean?
Looking back, it was so naive to think she could banish it on her own. The further she saw into the darkness, the more she struggled to see anything at all. And the glow, the smallest hints of shape, sound, thought, grow in strength until they consumed her whole. Before she knew it, the darkness had her in its claws.
Broken. The gate is open. Open.
Alright, we did it.
There is no such thing as victory when it comes to the darkness.
Finally made it.
It's like it doesn't want to kill her
Let's open up the door.
yet. It will gnaw at her, biding its time. Only when she is at her weakest will it strike to kill. Will she find Dillian before her time comes?
Okay, give me just 1 second before we start this fight, because I think this is gonna be the boss fight. Just 1 second. Alrighty, let's do this.
Overcome Valravyn's final illusion to face him in his keep. I know you can do it, Senua. You have the sight.
We both see the darkness. We can fight it together.
I have one more puzzle.
Speak to me, Druth. Tell me a story.
Senua, listen. I will tell you the tale of a man called Findan. The Northmen captured Findan's sister, and his father sent him to pay for her release. But they took his gold, put him in chains, and held him for a day and a night without food or water. Then they released him. I don't know why. Upon his return, his father's enemies in Erin set fire to his home. His father burnt to death, and his brother was killed. But he escaped with sorrow in his heart. His father's enemies offered redress for his loss and invited him to a feast. It was at a hall near the sea. But when he went there, they betrayed him to the Northmen, who enslaved him and took him to hell. 6 years later, his slave masters landed on the shores of Orkney, burning all before them. And into that fire, Findan made his escape. What was Findan burnt away that day. But from the flames, a new man stepped forward, and Druth was born. Druth. The man that I am now. And though Findan never set eyes on his dear sister again, I, Druth, have found you, Senua.
I wish you could have seen my home before these dark times.
What up? Wanna have a look real quick if there's anything I missed on this side? I don't think so. But it always gives you chills when Druth tells Senua about his backstory. Absolutely. Also like that Senua says, I wish you would have seen my home, you know, before everything went dark. So it's definitely, you know, some part of her past and childhood that, you know, wasn't quite as troublesome as it evolved into. I guess before everything with her mom happened. That's true, and after going through everything she did, those things that were good would be hard to find. Yeah. Also the persons that made things good for her. Like Lillian and her mother. I thought that we had to revert the illusion here, but maybe not. Yeah, guess it has to be set this way all the time. Okay, let's set it back one more time and then we have to investigate what we're missing. Yes, I reckon we gotta trigger this gate here to open up the next path. Yeah, that's it. The Raven's Nest.
Broken. The gate is open. Open.
This darkness. I know it from the wilds. coming back for me.
I'm still here. Are you too? Where are we? I remember. It didn't end well in the wilds. It never does. You think you can overcome the darkness, make sense of it, and once relief settles in, it strikes out of nowhere, throwing you helplessly back into the maelstrom, drowning the mind in fear, deeper, deeper, dragging you down so far into the void that maybe this time there is no coming back. But there, in the darkness,
Senua,
and she remembered what he told her.
hear me. Reach out to me. Senua, take my iron mirror. Look into it, for it is a window into the underworld. Within, you will see the face of the darkness that you fear. And if you focus, like I have taught you to, you will also see that as much as the darkness has you trapped within its veil, it too is trapped within yours. Focus. Focus! Focus!
I see you! I see you now! You led me to the wilds! You trapped me there!
Defend yourself!
The mirror focus is coming back.
beat you in the wilds, did I? It was an illusion. But not this time!
The mark of Valravyn. One of the keys to the gate to Helheim. Hold it in your mind's eye.
With every battle, the darkness grows stronger. Every victory bringing her closer to defeat. Unfair, isn't it? In those dark winter nights in the wilds, there were times when she considered letting go. If it weren't for Druth, a chance encounter in the wilds, she would not have heard his stories of the Northmen. And she would not have this chance to find Dillion's soul.
I'm coming. I still hear you.
And there we go. We defeated Valravyn, Master of Illusion. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite boss fights in this game. I just love the moveset of the enemy a lot. And like jumping and flying and like the fast blades and stuff. Also makes you wish I was like a game where I could play as Valravyn or something. Create illusions left and right while slicing dice from enemies. I do like how the atmosphere also changes to something much warmer and brighter. Ever thought of Dillion? Hey there, Ave, welcome in. How's it going? A crazy thing happened over on Maxi's stream. Freaking Ubisoft rated him. Raised him. Or rated him. I reckon rated. I think he's a bit too old to be raised by Ubisoft. I hope. But yeah, that's awesome. That Ubisoft actually decided to rate him. Is he playing a Crew Motorfest? I reckon they would rate someone playing one of their games. But yeah, what are the chances for, right? But that's really cool. I hope it wasn't Ubisoft Quebec though. Thank you for GG's, Schiller. Cheers, dude. This game looks very nice, to be honest. It is, yeah, both this game and Hellblade 2, which came out recently. Can highly recommend. But also definitely on the shorter side, so you can get this done under 10 hours each, for sure. But yeah, excellent games. Very unique.
She would lay in the grass and stare at the clouds.
The narrative.
And there she saw them. Elusive. Shifting faces. she could see the faces everywhere. The trees, the mountains, caves.
Got to love that final text Senua does and the dialogue about how she got to a point where she wanted to end her life, but meeting Druid drove her poor out of wanting to do that. That is true. Yeah, Druid really holds such a special place to her. Such an important one. But it's great that she had someone in her life, you know, to make her reconsider. And tell her, you know, that life was still very much worth living. Have a Motorfest, you're doing good, playing Ghost of Tsushima and trying to get the platinum. How's that going for you? Are you in the last act already? Or have you already finished the main story and just like picking up the last bits and pieces? Knock you back, thankfully. The people that came with the raid seemed like generally smart people. Must have been Ubisoft Montreal developers then. Yeah, no, just kidding. I'm sure Quebec also has lots of very capable people working there.
Can you see the faces too?
Maybe not everyone in charge though, but that's another topic.
If you look for them. Senua.
Mother?
It's going very good. You're at the beginning of Act 2, just doing side content. Very nice, dude. So just finished with the first act. I had a great time with Ghost of Tsushima when I first played it. And I do look forward to replaying it yet again. As part of this run, it's gonna be my third time playing. But I haven't quite decided yet what I wanna do with it. Initially I wanted to do no hard run, but then, you know, the game is already quite hardless already. I will have to see.
Senua, you have the sight. Just like I do. Once you can see into the underworld and all the souls within it will see you. Don't be afraid when they speak to you. I will always be here to guide you.
Did you see her? That was her mother, Galina. She was a priestess, a healer. She taught Senua to see the weave that binds the world together. And it was beautiful. It was a time before the darkness. But when it did come, it first came for her mother. Senua still sees her face from time to time, hidden in the world. Like she's still watching over. She misses her so much.
You know, I really like in the second game how it's actually recognized that Senua has the sight, you know, and becomes sort of a seer as well, like her mother was. But also the duality between like sight and darkness, you know, it's like two ways of doing an interpretation of the psychosis that has been affecting her mother and herself. In the eyes of some, you know, it might be like a darkness, something to look down upon, you know. Something that others think is just a sickness. But it's also a way of looking at it as like a gift, you know, of seeing things that others can't. And it's definitely gonna, you know, become quite a gift in the second game because the people will look for her to see the things that they can't. And to stop, you know, the fights that they can't either. Oh, you mean the people behind the Stealth Force Syndicate were some clever people? Yeah, the Stealth was definitely alright in Syndicate. I do like doing assassinations in that game. I also like things like social stealth through kidnappings and stuff. I mean, gotta, you know, have like a level of disbelief, I guess. You know, that it actually works like that, but I do like the stealth quite a bit. The only thing I wish was that you could actually assassinate people while they're starting to see you when you're like charging at them, which you could do in any other AC game. But in Syndicate it's like, okay, I just bring out my melee weapon and we enter combat, I guess. Until you get first strike, of course, but then it still gets counted as combat technically. Because the detection does happen while you're doing the first strike thing. That's like one of the only things I'm not too happy about in the Stealth of Syndicate. And the fact that you have to crouch in order to have the hood on. But everything else is really good in Syndicate. For the stealth. Or maybe a stealth challenge. That's true. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima with a stealth challenge would be also quite difficult, I would imagine. Because there's definitely some, you know, like forts and stuff that are very tricky and like full of enemies. But yeah, it would be a nice challenge to try. Or playing the two games back to back is really good. Hellblade 1 and 2. You've done that before Hellblade 2 launch, right? Played like Hellblade 1 directly before. I'm looking forward to see how the story flows for sure. Because when I played Hellblade 2, I probably hadn't played Hellblade 1 for over 2 years or so. Alright, but yeah, I think that's actually a good stopping point for tonight, because the next challenge would be to go to the second door to Suta, the fire god. But that will of course start an entire new chapter, and I don't think I will have enough well, I mean, technically I would have enough time, but I wouldn't want to play an entire chapter tonight anymore, I think. So we will just do it next time. Saving is automatic, I guess, in the game, so we're just gonna go to the main menu. And yeah, this is gonna be where we will call it for today. Just gonna have a quick look here at the chapter selection. As you can see, we have found all of the lore stones of the chapters we completed so far, which have been 3. The Road to Hell, Valravyn's Keep, and Valravyn. Are they worried that 1 and 2 be part of this historic order run? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm playing until 1945, until the end of the Second World War. Because that's where kind of like modern history, I guess, starts. Or kind of like where modern history, I guess, kind of like comes to an abrupt end in a way. So I want to play until that point. Huh. Historical should be right, but maybe it's set still to a game. In that case, it would be my bad. I think I can still use it regardless of the category. Oh yeah, I should definitely set it to be independent of a category. But since I also have it as a command, like a timer command, I think that's why I have it that way. I'm just gonna change it to the game then. But thank you for trying, Rod, I appreciate it. So there you go, there's an entire list of the games we're playing in the Google Docs sheet there. But yeah, Red Dead 1 and 2 will be definitely included. And for Red Dead 2 I actually plan on doing my first ever 100% checklist run. I have done a pretty in-depth run before. I mean, technically both my first and second run have been quite in-depth. But yeah, this time I would like to really go the extra mile and complete the 100% checklist. But yeah, it's gonna be a while until we get Valvo, because as you can see on the list, there's quite a few games to get through. Prof, it's true you want to play Hellblade off stream as well, because you had never done that before. I bet that would have been a nice experience, you know, playing it all by yourself, because... Sorry about that noise there. The popo. Go save yourself. Run. But yeah, it definitely, you know, really changes the experience quite a bit when you totally focus on the experience. My first playthrough was also actually off stream. I played it 2018. That was before I actually streamed on a regular. My first replay I've done on stream though, which must have been around 2019 actually, I believe. And then I played it again a couple years back, maybe like 2022, 21, something like that. So technically this would be my 4th playthrough, I think, if I'm not entirely mistaken. But that does definitely help with the immersion, you know. When I played Hellblade 2 for the first time, I was almost like, maybe I should have actually played this off stream. You know, because I didn't really get to talk all that much either during the stream, because in Hellblade 2 it's even like, you have even less moments, I guess, where it's like complete silence and you can just like take a minute and breathe. Lots of things happen back to back, especially with the dialogues and conversations. A plane? Yeah, definitely seemed like it was one, or like a helicopter. Might have been a helicopter actually. If I play up until World War II, will I do any Call of Duties? Well, if we look on the game list there, then currently the only games in World War II that I have lined up is The Saboteur, which is taking place in 1940, during the Nazi occupation of Paris, I think. And yeah, then I'm just like having like an open spot for a good World War II game. But I haven't decided quite on what it will be. I mean, there's like a World War II Call of Duty game that's more recent, but I had a bit of a look into it, and it doesn't seem like it's historically accurate whatsoever. Playing very loose with certain events and stuff. And given how recent and how important of a historic event it is, I would like to go with one that's very faithful to the time. So yeah, not sure I'm gonna include Call of Duty. Also true, and at times it can be like that for you with this game as well. Because you also have the voices talking and sometimes saying story or character stuff. That is true. Yeah, if I can, I like to listen to as much of it as possible, but sometimes you're like starting to say something and then we're already like whispering something in the background. It's like, okay, guess I lost that then. But yeah, definitely like, it's very immersive and you want to be immersed, but at the same time you also want to share it. Dr. Darling, you already suggested one. That is true. There's been a good few suggestions already. But yeah, we still have lots of time until we actually have to, you know, make a decision about that. I mean, it's gonna be probably well over a year, if not longer, until we reach the end of its historic order run. And I reckon in the next year I also have maybe even less time to stream, so that might take even longer. But we're gonna see. I mean, I'm not in a rush to get this done. I'm just enjoying, you know, taking my time going through these games. And I definitely also take each game with more of an in-depth approach, because whenever we have like anything historical or of historical relevance, I would try to showcase that for sure. Like with Mirage, I definitely, for instance, go ahead and collect all the historical like data nodes. And I mean, for all of the AC games, I would do like the entire database pretty much. At least the ones focusing on historic relevant things. Not so much maybe on like lore or characters. Because that's where I can save a bit of time in the AC games, because I'm not really focusing on like first civilization or like modern day or anything like that. Just the things that actually have like some kind of like reference to historical events. Have you put it there? You missed it. Sorry, you were dueling a guy in Ghost of Tsushima, so you missed that. My bad. No worries whatsoever, Avi. No worries. How did the duel go, Wo? Did you win? Shall I recommend Mafia 2? It fits into World War II, or Hearts of Iron 4. Oh, let me actually go over to the Historic Research Center, because now that I don't have to have the Xbox on one screen, I can actually capture my screen as usual. One second. Alright, but yeah, so to answer your question again, so Red Dead 2 of course is gonna be 1899. So gonna play it then. The game before that will be The Order 1886, which was a PlayStation 4 launch title, I believe. And looked really good actually. At least visually looks great and still holds up well. And after that I would like to play Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which I've never played before. Still thinking whether or not I will include Bioshock Infinite, because it's more like an alternative history type of deal, but it also has like lots of references to actual, you know, contemporary things of a time, like gadgets and machines. And also like the art style, of course. But yeah, what I wanted to look up for was Mafia 2, since you kind of like mentioned it. Actually, I could... Ah, okay, so Mafia 2 is like more like post-World War II, isn't it? It's like 1945 to 1951. So at the moment, the timeline will end at 1945. But I've always said, and I mean initially the timeline was actually further. You know, I had a plan until 1990 initially. But then I cut out the second half because, for one, you know, modern history kind of like is at an ending point there with World War II ended. But also, you know, because it would just add a lot more time on top of all of the games I already had set up. But once you actually reach this point of having completed, you know, World War II, and I feel like playing further, then there's always the option that I keep on going and play for the rest of the 20th century. And once we are done with the 20th century, I might even go into the future and play like some futuristic games, you know. I could include games like Deus Ex, but also Watch Dogs Legion, games like Fallout potentially, and Cyberpunk, but also Horizon. So there's a couple like futuristic games that could be also interesting for like a, yeah, futuristic kind of like playthrough at some point. Okay, so what about Hearts of Iron 4, though, since you also mentioned that? As well, like all set during the same time. They do seem to go beyond 1945. But yeah, that's the newest one from 2016. Grand strategy computer war game. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look into this. Thank you for a recommendation, Schiller. On the Clausewitz engine? Sounds funny. Avi, you really like the historical data thingies in Mirage. Finding them while walking around Baghdad was very nice, for sure. It was cool to have something like it again, you know? Really felt like more of a database kind of like aspect, you know, like in the earlier games. It's more like 45 to 51, only the first mission plays in World War II. So it's more like what sets events in motion. Makes sense, you know. I mean, such a abrupt change to everyday life and people, you know, taking the experience from World War II into the next couple of years. But yeah, I do have a Mafia games on my game list. In fact, the first one is already picked by the mice. So I definitely will play them eventually. But yeah, I guess I could actually play them in historical order instead of release order, technically. Especially with all the remakes and remasters. I guess it's more relative in what order you play them. Stellaris with all DLCs. Cyberpunk 2077 takes place in 2077. Amazing. Rotten Deus Ex Human Revolution, the year is 2027, so we're almost there. That's crazy to think about, isn't it? Only 3 years away. Well, let's see if I can get to my futuristic run before the year 2027. Because otherwise I can't actually include Deus Ex Human Revolution. Unless it's 2026 when I'm starting the whole thing. It's gotta be at least 1 year difference to be futuristic. Hey there, Kobe, welcome in. You hear Ryzen, you say, hey Ryzen. Hey there, Kobe, welcome back. Hope you have a nice evening. And absolutely. Also quite looking forward to finally play Forbidden West eventually. That's of course a game that you also picked on the viewer game list. Also, Maxi, dude, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. And welcome into all of you raiders. How's it going? How was the stream today? I heard you got raided by Ubisoft today, did you? How was the Crew Motor Fest? How did it go? Also, hey there, ATC, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining with the raid from Maxi. How's it going? And thanks, Maxi, yeah, doing well. Had a good stream with Hellblade, which is wrapping up for today. In the Historical Research Center. But yeah, I had a good first stream. We got the first boss done. The boss of Illusion. I've also been trying to get as many lore stones as possible to learn a bit about the Norse mythologies. And so far we found all 9 of the first 2 chapters. But yeah, there's still another 35 to go though. Kobe, you did just came back from a little Pokemon Go walk. Oh, very nice, Kobe. So you're still playing that? I don't think I ever added you to Pokemon Go, did I? I really should do that, because I've been playing that game definitely actively for last year. Been doing so good progress with my collection. That's awesome, Maxi. Really glad for you, dude. That's definitely an amazing coincidence, you know, that they also chose you to raid. I guess it really helped that you played one of the most recent games, but even then, you know, there would be plenty of people playing the category, I guess. But I guess they saw the name and that, you know, amazing description and all the amazing channel points, and they were like, yeah, that's our target. This is the streamer we're gonna endorse. That is true, Rod. Yeah. It's definitely interesting, you know, when they have like you know, kind of like imagination of what the future might look like, you know, but then often it's like, you know, way overblown with like the changes and how technological advanced everything has become. But yeah, I mean, in some ways they're definitely progressing quite fast. I mean, looking at, for example, AI, you know, and how that is developing. But when it comes to like infrastructures and stuff, you know, humans are very slow to evolve, I feel. Oh, very nice, Kobe. That sounds good. Definitely send me the code. Gonna send you a gift immediately. And yeah, no worries whatsoever, Maxi. Thank you again so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Yeah, sorry to everyone that came over for raid, but I'm not like going for much longer. But I appreciate you all coming over. And Maxi, I hope you have a great sleep and a good night. And if anybody missed the shout out earlier, here's another one to Maxi. Highly recommend checking out his channel. He's currently playing some The Crew Motorfest. His first ever playthrough of the game. He's trying to go for the Platinum. And he's also been recently finishing another new game, which is Astrobot for PlayStation 5. That game looked absolutely amazing, I have to say. Very creative and very unique. Thank you, Maxi. Definitely will. And yeah, we will catch you next time, dude. Take care. It's interesting to see that the speed at which things change, and also the slowness of some things too. Things that also felt like they would happen one way but end up happening the opposite. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, so many things are just not predictable. There's like so much random chance, you know, that happens. Or that leads to certain things happening, you know. And yeah, we also look back at history, you know, but also evolution. In the context of this historic order run, you know, you can definitely see how unlinear everything really was. You know, certain things had to happen in a certain way for others to happen, or be able to happen. Or not to happen. That's no worries, Mixie. More than happy to give you a shout out. But yeah, guys, so this is gonna be where we'll actually be ending the stream today, Vo. I would like to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining. of a first Hellblade session. There's definitely gonna be more in the next week between both this game and Hellblade 2. We are going to go and raid. Just gonna have to find the raid target here. Okay, it seems like Amita is still actively going, so we're gonna go and raid him. He's playing some Star Wars Jedi's Fallen Order. It's his first playthrough, and I think he's definitely getting closer to finishing his playthrough as well. Catch you next time, Lotte Darling. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a good night. You too, Rod. Hope you have a good night too. And a good rest and sleep. We will catch you tomorrow with some Evil Within, I reckon. Is it? I think it should still be Evil Within. No worries, Ave. Thank you also for being here. Definitely catch another time. And good luck with the Platinum run on Ghost of Tsushima. And also want to give a shout out to Rod if you haven't yet, but also to some other fellow streamers here, in case you want to check out some more amazing streamers of the community. So Rod has been doing some Tomb Raider Chronicles. He just finished his playthrough of that amazing game with the most amazing ending levels that aren't frustrating whatsoever. But he's a big fan of Tomb Raider. He's playing through the entire saga at the moment. And he's also a big fan of Assassin's Creed, also playing that on a regular. Also loves Rockstar games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption. And always comes up with very cool, unique playthrough ideas. If it challenges or if it's like focusing on different elements of the game, from the environment to the music. Also check out Shilla. Shilla has been doing his first ever playthrough of Witcher 3 White Hunt. He's done one session so far. And yeah, we'll give it a couple more tries to see if he ends up liking it. He's just finished with the introduction sequence of White Orchard, so it's gonna go into Velen quite soon. And he's also been doing playthroughs of Assassin's Creed. He's also loving the challenges for those games, but also done completionist runs for games like Mafia. So yeah, definitely check out Chiller as well. And also check out Jay. Jay has been doing some Persona 5 Royal. You can catch him usually on the weekends, like every Saturday mostly. And yeah, he's currently focusing on that game. He also played Spider-Man recently, but also Uncharted 4. And yeah, also great streamer to catch and check out if you haven't yet. Evil Within, is it? No worries, Kobe. Thank you again for being here. I catch you next time. Hope you have a good night. And I guess I catch you quite soon on Pokemon Go. But definitely will. Going to sleep like a rock. That's right, Evil Within. Hoping to finish it and then do more Watch Dogs. Thanks so much for the shout out as well. No worries whatsoever, dude. It sounds like a nice plan. Oh yeah, some Watch Dogs. Another game I can't wait to play again, I have to say. I love those games. Well, especially Watch Dogs 1 and 2. But at this point I would also be down to do another Legion playthrough, I think. But yeah, definitely gonna sleep like a rock, especially after that, you know, stream with Tomb Raider. That would have been quite exhausting. No worries for a shout out either, Shilla. More than happy to give you one. But yeah, let's go ahead and start the raid to Anita. gonna post raid emotes one more time in case you missed them earlier. Got one for non-subs and one for subs, so feel free to copy and paste whatever applies to you. If you wanna join us with a raid, if not, that's totally fine too. Thank you again for watching this stream. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Absolutely, RV. Watch Dogs is fantastic. I do love those games. The Punisher of Ubisoft. Indeed. Yeah, Aiden even calls himself a Punisher, doesn't he? Like at the end of the first game. When necessary to punish. But yeah, have a good one, everyone. I catch you next time.